a two-camera shoot going on here, do you?
Yes.
Really? Is that the most one? To document it? Is it? Did you specify how you're going to document it? Then you...
There's another seat here. There's also a seat here. Okay, so as we were short introduction, some of you actually know that McVittie when he was here. He actually met for the first time actually yesterday. But during the whole year, when I always had some ideas about creativity, everyone always said, that was lost on us and we should have talked as well. So I'm actually quite glad that we met. And I'm sure that you get a valuable, different perspective on the same things that we've done this morning, or another view on issues to do with creativity. In short, Frank McVittie is Director of Theatre at University College Almost, which is now Dartington. It started from the College of Arts, isn't it?
Officially, it's Falmouth Incorporating Dartington College of Arts, but from next year it'll just be University College of Arts.
Okay, good. So, and I'm going to head. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
I'm going to head and enjoy. And see you then on Wednesday. Monday. Okay, yeah.
That'd be great. Are we expecting anyone else? No. That's it? Did everybody want to leave the door open, or are we prepared to be blocked through now?
I think the draft is available.
You want the draft?
I would say so.
It's absolutely fine. Okay.
Because the radius is on a bit more.
Yes. Are you recording right now with these cameras?
Yeah.
You are?
Yeah, the whole time.
Okay. How long are they running? What's the range time on those?
89 minutes. About 89 minutes.
89 minutes. Okay, so definitely keep them under 89 minutes. Could I get your names as well? My name is Fred, as Carol said. Could we just get a name check?
I'm Chloe.
Chloe. Hi, Chloe. Tom. Hello, Tom. Emma. Chloe, Tom, Emma.
Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Lisa.
Lisa. Hello, Lisa.
I'm Anna.
Oh, confusing. All right. Emma. Lisa, Rachel. Emma, Tom, Chloe. Hey. Good. Carol told me a little bit of what you've been doing this morning, but I'll tell you briefly what I'd like to launch into. I'm not promising I'll get through everything I want to talk about this today. So I think I've set some quite ambitious ideas for myself, which I'm not quite sure I get to the end of, but we'll get as far as we can. But before we do that, could I just get a little bit of feedback on what you did this morning? Carol told me what it was from her perspective. It'd be really useful to build on and perhaps to refer back to what you've been doing already today. What did you do this morning?
We did lots of exercises to kind of instigate creativity in there, and to just kind of shut off your old. That's ways, just only after ways of instigating creativity. Methodologies.
Okay.
Some of them were maybe from the creative writing practices, others from physical theatre. So the end of the session we had like this discussion talking about how we kind of like interacted with those different tasks, I guess. So if you're from a dance background, how does that feel to be able to maybe write or
Okay. Do you want just to tell me about one of those exercises, just so I can get some detail on them? Someone want to describe one as well?
Well, the last one we had to do was interpretive movement, was it? Someone had to make a silent gesture, and the person who was facing parallel to them had to make a reactive gesture, and keep going back and forth like that.
Okay.
there was like a similar one that was with an inanimate object, so we had like a roll of paper, and one person was given the roll of paper, they had to set off a scene with the roll of paper, and then everybody else had to straight away react to that without any words basically. So the roll of paper first became a telescope, and then everyone was and then like a basketball, not basketball, baseball bat, and things like that. So, and each time it set up a completely different situation that we just had to kind of realise what was going on and then do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just tell me about one of the written ones, just so I've got the range.
We all wrote learned poetry, didn't we? The table that we're all writing separate lines into different poems that were going on the table.
Okay, great. Okay.
Just add
You could add
to it, or you could
change
also
the
change
previous
the
line.
What cumulative poetry like that?
Great. Okay, that's really useful. Thanks for that. Okay, let's see if I can just run through the territory that I want to try and launch into. Most of this, I'm afraid, will be sitting down, so if that's not a learning style you're familiar with, just let me know if I'm getting really bored as I'll switch off and we'll have a quick break. But there's a number of things I want to try to get across with you. Did you get the blurb, by the way, that was on Ning, I believe?
Yes, thank you.
Someone will just read that out to me, because I can't remember what I said.
This one.
Thank you.
This session will aim to address two aspects of my research and creativity more generally. The first is significance with the phase cycle of what might be called the generative phase.
Generative, yeah.
Yeah. The stage within the arts processes associated with inconstant and abundant production of material prior to this material being edited, revised, critiqued, commented upon, shaped, cut, augmented, or discarded or as worthless. I will be suggesting that this phase, usually taking place quite earlier on within processes, has particular psychological, social, institutional and contextual requirements which are quite different to earlier and later stages. The second and related topic that I would like to open up is the shifting relationship between these different phases in creative processes and the spaces in which these phases take place. Traditionally, most creativity is felt to take place in secret behind the closed door of the art studio, the writer's study or the inventor's garage, and by extension in the private space of the individual imagination. It is in these private spaces that the exuberance of generative behaviour and the focus of composition and editing takes place, and only the final polished results of these processes enter the public domain. What I would like to begin to open up are models of creativity in which this boundary between private creation and public display is disturbed. Incontinent creativity leaks constantly out of the private realm of the artist, and any shaping and editing of his work takes place in the full light of public attention and even implicates those of others. Is that right?
Fantastic. I could have said that myself. Okay, it's interesting hearing your own words back at you always think, you're never quite sure how resonant they are, whether they've worked. I don't know if that meant anything at all to you, or that prepared you at all for what we're going to be talking about. So I'm just going to see if I can reframe that stuff a little bit, and I'll put up some of my work on here so you can get some context. But I'm interested in two things, but I think it's going to spill over into three things. The two things I'm interested in, first off, is one that I'm sure is very familiar to you, which is this idea that creativity isn't a unitary, isn't a kind of unitary phenomenon. It takes place, it has lots of different phases to it, lots of different aspects to it, lots of different moments in creative processes. And you'll know this from your own work. You'll know that the kinds of things you're doing at the beginning of creative processes and the things you're doing this morning, for example, are very, very different to the things you will do later on in creative processes. And different things are often happening at the same time during the creative process. You may be engaging in some of the physical tasks that you mentioned earlier on, but other times those physical tasks